Welcome back everybody to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you're serious about trading and you want to support the channel and get all the daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, definitely check out the link down in the description for Patreon. With that being said, while what is going on in the market, we do have earnings coming out from Nvidia. That's tomorrow night, but we talked about it in my video over the weekend that there will be news that there is going to be some sort of a deal with EU, and then followed by a news which I'm still waiting on that Trump will come out and say, oh, everything is fine. Tim and I are doing a great deal, and there will be no 25% tariff. So again, this man, just putting a pause on pretty much everything. So the market rallied on that. Weekend Wall Street was up over 1%, and now you can see today. I mean, look at that rally here, guys. Dow is up 1.78%, Nasdaq up 2.47%, S&P up 2%, over 2%, and Russell going up the most 2.54%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500, well, all in the green. We got risk on move, technology, consumer cyclical, and communication services leading the way on top. Stock market map, what do we have here? Well, you can see green across the board. Big names like Google that I'm still in, up 2.63%, Meta up 2.5%, Tesla up almost 7%, Amazon, another play that we're in, up 2.5%. This is another one that we're in, up 2.53%. And Microsoft also going up almost close to all-time highs, 2.33%. Broadcom going up. I mean, chips just hitting it out of the park. Everything in the green for the day. And now let's talk about S&P 500 and see what is going on with SPY ETF. SPY ETF, it's up 2%, and you can see it right here. I mean, this is actually a fake wick right here of this candle that you see here right on my screen, and it was all over. You'll see a lot of that, tweet on X as well. But what is the key point here? We talked about it. Even I was live Friday for a couple of minutes where we took a bunch of those trades because there was a gap down, right? And I took this SPY trade right here, guys, and still holding 70% of my position, and that is up way over 20%. Now, a lot of people think 20% or maybe 10% or even 30%, it's not a lot of profit. But when you go and buy a bunch of them, it's a lot of money. Second thing, you're not going to make 100%, 200% on every play. I mean, what is like yearly return on S&P 500? 10, 15% maybe? You're getting 20% just holding overnight over the weekend. So this is a play that we took off of this trend line on Friday, right here, right off of this 20-day moving average, and actually paid off today. I mean, look at the pump. And this thing pumped and went all the way up to and pretty much closing near high of the day. So that is bullish. Bulls are in control, but again, we're getting close to all-time highs. And as we get closer to all-time highs, I usually get bearish. I don't think all-time highs are, where a lot of opportunities are. This was the opportunity, I took it. This was the opportunity, I took it. This was the opportunity. We added more for longs, and now slowly just, making money and just slowly trimming things that we bought before and not trying to buy high and sell even higher. That's not what we do. So going into tomorrow's session, we have earnings coming out after our tomorrow from Nvidia. So that's going to affect the market, especially Nasdaq 100 and even here on S&P 500. But we're completely out of the woods yet. Right now it's closing over 586, closing at 591. That's extremely bullish. Now, going into tomorrow's session, if there is some sort of a pullback that we see, and I'm kind of surprised that it's actually showing this gap is closed. I don't know when that happened. Maybe we can see the hourly time frame. I mean, look at this. When did this happen? Is this actually real? I don't think so. Let me know, in the comment section. What do you guys think? So that's why you're seeing that gap is fully closed from today, gap up, but the gap is still there. And I don't know. I mean, even it's right here on my screen, low for the day 578. I don't think we saw 578 today, guys. I mean, when did that happen? That is just insane. So that is a red flag as we're going higher. And again, this is not a good spot, for new money long. If you're thinking about like, oh, I missed out on this, I missed out on this, and there was a little bit of pullback here, and I missed out on this, and now I'm just gonna go all in here. That is a bad trade. So new money long, there is no opportunity. Yes, pullback, we've been talking about it in my video, in my channel, we got that. And the support held. You can see right here, this trend line perfectly held right here. And now it's going back up. Is it going to go back up to all-time highs? Possibly. I mean, you cannot roll that out. Weekly trend is up. Daily trend is back and up running again. So going into Wednesday's session, watch out. If there is some sort of a pullback that unfolds, there is a gap at 582-ish, 581. But before that, you will have support at 590. Underneath that, you'll have support at 586. This key line, 5-day moving average, and the support itself. Underneath that, watch out for a dump off, possibly down to that gap, 582-ish. Now, all that gives up, and we take out bottom of this candle, which is 576 from Friday, last Friday. Then this dump off will continue down to this gap, 567, and that's gonna be your opportunity if you're trying to go new money long here near all-time highs. So I would say wait, P for patience, and you're gonna get rewarded if you wait for that pullback to unfold right here on S&P 500. Otherwise, just you can see how things play out, but there is no play here to the upside unless you got in on this pullback. And now we're far, far away, guys. I mean, $12, $13 away from where we took those calls. And now, unless we come right back, it's not a good opportunity to go and buy as a new money long on S&P 500. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. It's totally free. And you can always get in touch with me right here on X if you have a question that you want to ask. Now, with that being said, I want to share some fantastic trade ideas. And there was a special 40% off for a Memorial Day, but it's gone now, but it's worth every penny, whether you're going for 40% off or not. And I'm going to share some plays right here that we took just about Thursday and last week Friday. You can see picked up Starbucks, and that was on Thursday, 400, picked up on UPST. Same thing here, early morning, guys. Look at this. Early morning, we picked up these shares. And then what happened? Well, fast forward, you can see UPST from 43 $44 today was at 47 plus, almost 48. Really nice profit, low risk profit on that play. Here's another one, QCOM. We played this play as a swing trade 9:46 a.m. on Friday, guys. Friday there was a gap down in the market. We picked up near the lows, and this thing is up, I think, about $6 7 from the lows on Friday. We took partial profit today and left half of my position right here on QCOM. So that's another one, and you can see these right here, Starbucks, and then QCOM. Also, we had SPY calls that I'm not even sharing here in this video. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon. And if you're really serious about trading, you still get a discount when you join annually. And you get live trading. I was live today. You get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and a lot of technical analysis, and the questions will be answered with lots of priority on my Patreon. So if you're somebody who is really serious about trading, definitely check out the link down in the description. And triple Q is up 2.35%. So we blasted through that 515. You can see here, in this case, this gap is still open. And that is the gap from today. So yes, we did close this gap last week on Friday, 507 gap. And now we gapped up again on Tuesday on that news. And we opened up another gap, 511.84. So there is a gap down here, but it was struggling today. We came back and retested where? Well, the 5-day moving average, 515, and the support itself right here. And you can see 514.49. We played some puts right here, and we pretty much cashed out right here. Left some runners with a stop loss at break even, and boy oh boy, this thing came back, retested that support again, and now it's over 520. So if this thing pushes higher, I mean, you can see this Bollinger Band expanded up to 537, and all-time highs are not that far away, guys. And we all know how Nasdaq can run, and if this thing is going to run and stays over 520, we can possibly come up and retest that 540 range in just a matter of couple days. Now, if something unfolds and we get a tweet, like I said, this is the only man running the show, which is Trump. We get a tweet, some sort of a bad news, some bad catalyst, something happens, well, watch out that 520 gives up, and especially 515, a pullback can unfold again down to this gap, 511.84, and if that don't hold, then we might be pulling back even more all the way down to 507, 503 to even flat 500, and then this gap comes into play 491.54 on triple Q. On Dow Jones, it's up 1.81%, so gap up and go. And you can see this gap is open, where S&P 500 there is no gap, and you can see the candle hourly. I mean, what happened there? That's the question. How they're manipulating the market. So here on DIA, you can see it's over 423. There is a gap above, so we might be going there. I mean, it's almost there, 424.33 right now. So we might be closing this gap at 425. But if this thing pushes over 428, game on for a move up to 433. We cannot get over 425 after closing this gap. And if it comes back, support will be right down here at 423. If that gives up down here at 421.38, and then this gap comes into play, 418.17 from today, and there is also support underneath that at 416, and then 410.59 50-day moving average on Dow Jones. On IWM, it's up 2.54%. So correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. So I don't really know what's on that bill. I mean, it's a big bill that Trump trying to get approved from House, which is already approved, and then it's going to the Senate and all that, right? I don't have time to read that bill, and I'm not even gonna do that, even if I have time. I mean, who cares? They're not paying for that, right? So is there something in that bill that can actually help here on Russell, where this thing can push up to 300? That is the news from a lot of these, people that are on Twitter and pretty much on YouTube everywhere, right? And that there is something in that bill that is good for IWM, I guess, uh, some things that actually, zombie companies they like, right? So let me know what that is exactly and why this thing was up the most today and almost closing the gap right here at 208. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you can see this trend line definitely broke, and now we're going back up to retest that trend line. Is it going to take out this gap fill reversal to the upside and possibly moves higher over 210, or we get to see this gap getting filled and then this thing will fade back down to this gap again, 203? I mean, we just closed this gap and now we opened up another gap. So it's a gap city all over the place, and things are just pushing higher once again. IWM here will have resistance at 208, 210. Over that, it can move up to 213 up to this upper Bollinger Band. Now, if this thing does not hold right here at 206, you can see these moving averages can act as a support. So we got two of them right here, 13 and 5. 206 will be a support. Underneath that, gap fill reversal as a support, 203, and then 198 on IWM. So in my video on Friday, I think, or actually over the weekend, or that was actually Friday, guys. I'm sorry, it's been 3 days, so things are getting mixed up. Yes, that video came out Friday with a Memorial Day special on Patreon. So yes, that's from Friday. And how I talked about it in my video about VIX, that yes, we went higher and I was expecting that, but look at this wick on top. I mean, this is the inverted hammer style candle. And what happened today? This thing got absolutely decimated, down nearly 8% and back under not only 22, under 20, and almost down to 18 bucks. And it's under the 5-day moving average, which is at 20. So VIX definitely signaling that market might be pressing even higher, but keep an eye on this. It's still over $18. So if this thing does hold 18, then there might be a push again back up to the upside. But as of right now, volatility is leaving the market, which is good news for the bulls. But if this thing spikes back up over 20, easily can go up to 23.80, possibly up to 26 like we saw Friday, and from there much higher. And we'll talk about that if that happens in next video. But as of right now, that's not happening, guys. And that's all I have for you guys. We'll talk about gold and TNX and all that in another video. But right now, market just ripping on that news, especially over the weekend on EU pause. And if that pause continues and there is nothing new, I think market will likely to rally and possibly will go and try to retest previous all-time highs and maybe even make a brand new all-time high. So that is my view on the market for now, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow night. And don't forget to hit that like button, guys. That is greatly appreciated, and that really helps because these videos does not get paid from YouTube, and there is no money coming in. That's the only thing that channel gets is you guys putting that effort and putting those likes on these videos.